Fat fuck Sanders caves online and smearing for the squatter. Um, White House Press Secretary Fat fuck Sanders last week retweeted 45 is an accurate abridgment of the Mueller report. Following Attorney General William P. Barr's a summary of the Mueller report in March, and Fat fuck Sanders also inaccurately summarized the matter. The special counsel did not find any collusion and did not find any obstruction. AG Barr the Attorney General Barr and the Defense Attorney General Rosenstein further determined there was no obstruction. The findings of the Department of Justice are total and complete exoneration of the squatter of the United States, and that really wasn't. As the report makes clear, Mueller and his company did not exonerate the squatter on the obstruction of justice front. In fact, they laid out 10 examples of possible obstruction of justice charges. In his summary, Barr very promptly decided that the evidence on this front was not sufficient to establish that the squatter committed an obstruction of justice offense. There's a pattern here where the Mueller report advances your cause. It's cited authoritatively, where the Mueller report doesn't advance your case, lie about it, or distort, distract, whatever. This framing contextualizes Fat Fuck Sanders' response to her own Mueller scandal is noted widely upon the report's release. Fat Fuck Sanders admitted to investigators that she'd fabricated a talking point in the frenzied aftermath of 45's May 2017 firing of FBI Director James Comey. The initial media reaction to the move was harsh, and White House aides struggled to put together a defense for an action that had blindsided them. Among the tales that Fat Fuck Sanders, then the Deputy Press Secretary, spun was the myth that Comey didn't have the trust and faith of the FBI rank and file. When a reporter said that FBI officials actually supported the fired director, Fat Fuck Sanders said in a May 2017 briefing, "Look, we've heard from countless members of the FBI that say very different things." The next day, she continued with her protestations about all the FBI people who were expressing support for the dismissal after she was challenged in the actual number of countless FBI supporters. She said, I have heard from a large number of individuals that work at the FBI that said they were very happy with the squatter's decision. I don't know what else I can say. Basically tell the fucking truth instead of lying. According to the FBI report, Fat Fuck Sanders was lying about this plume of FBI sentiment. The countless comment said the report was a slip of the tongue, as Fat Fuck Sanders told investigators. She also recalled that her statement in a separate press interview that rank and file FBI agents had lost confidence in Comey was a comment she made in the heat of the moment that was not founded on anything. Reads the report. Busted, right? But not according to Fat Fuck Sanders herself. I've acknowledged the word countless was a slip of the tongue, but it's no secret that a number of FBI, both current and former, agreed with the squatter's decision. Fat Fuck Sanders said in the appearance last week on CBS This Morning, let's not forget that James Comey was a disgraced leaker. He undermined the own agency that he was supposed to be in charge of leading, said Fat Fuck Sanders, who referred to Comey as a dirty cop, and 45 as a dirty person, but she's still bouncing up and down on his dick. Pressed on Mueller's conclusion that Sanders' remarks weren't founded on anything, Fat Fuck Sanders responded, "Those were Mueller's words, that they weren't founded on anything. What I said was that it was in the heat of the moment, meaning it wasn't a scripted thing, it was something that I said, which is why that one word has become a big deal. But the big takeaway here is that the sentiment is 100% accurate. The FBI is a better place without James Comey. He disgraced himself and he undermined the agency that he was supposed to be in charge of. Check it out. Those were Mueller's words. Yes, they were Mueller's words. These are also Mueller's words. Ultimately, the investigation did not establish that the campaign coordinated or conspired with the Russian government in election interference. Clever how people like Fat Fuck Sanders want to credit one finding from the Mueller team and question another. Such selective accreditation is an old trick, one that gets a lot of rotation on outlets such as faux news. For instance, when a media organization such as the New York Times writes something unfavorable to a Democratic politician, see the coverage of Hillary Clinton's server or the overblown Uranium One story, this damaging information comes from the New York Times, a journalistic giant. When the Times publishes a tough story on 45, the other hand, it's just another corrupt eruction of the fake news media. Nor is Fat Fuck Sanders content to mar the reputation of just one person in the whole episode. Her baseless claim about Comey suggested that he had lost the trust and confidence of rank and file FBI personnel, when in fact a survey of employees later indicated that confidence in the agency's leadership declined after Comey's firing. Then came April Ryan, White House correspondent and Washington bureau chief for American Urban Radio News Network, in a Friday panel discussion on CNN where she serves as political analyst. Ryan called for the dismissal of fat fuck Sanders. She lied, said Rand. She out and lied, and the people and the American people can't trust her. They can't trust what's said from the squatter's mouthpiece spokesperson from the People's House. Therefore, she should be let go. She should be fired. End of story. When there's a lack of credibility, you have to start lopping off the heads off. Presented with another opportunity to lie and ruin another reputation, Fat Fuck Sanders went for it. On Foe and Friends on Monday morning, she said this of Ryan's clarity, figurative language. Look, I've had reporters say a lot of things about me. They said I should be choked. They said I should deserve a lifetime of harassment. But certainly never had somebody say that I should be decapitated. This takes us to a new low, even for the media. I think it once again proves why this journalist shouldn't be taken seriously, said Fat Fuck Sanders. So the White House press secretary, documented liar, is now delivering opinions on who should and should not be taken seriously. If anything, Fat Fuck Sanders should not be taken seriously. I don't trust anything that she says. Says she bounces up and down on Donald's dick. I don't trust her.